And one. Hello, you guys, and welcome to the Woman's Cave.
I'm being like subdued today because it's rainy and we've been in like self quarantine for forever. So subdued is what you get to be.
Subdued?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
All those are lies. Those are dudes straight up. I'm not lying to y'all. I'm joking.
Oh man, I'm Winona.
And okay, so we got a bunch of books. What do you have to talk about, Winona?
I really don't. No, all I have to talk about is seasonal allergies, and that's just not cool. So, yeah, no, there's nothing else. Anything else?
Oh, well, we just did Inspirational Women in Literature. We did virtually, and the 25 Hottest came out, which is exciting.
We have a writers' conference this week,
and then we're closing a writers' conference
this week, right?
And then
we're doing a writers' conference in a couple of weeks, so there's not that much going on.
I mean, yeah, we're doing it all virtually. I think we have a little bit better on the curve than a lot of people that just go to the office every day. We're still on the curve.
Yeah, but soon everyone's gonna pass us by.
What?
Yeah, because they're gonna all learn.
Oh yeah. I was like, how are they gonna pass us by? Social distancing. Don't pass me. Don't pass me. I have 6 feet between. Okay, now I'm back. Yes, I get it. Yes, and they are gonna and technology. Woo.
Yeah.
Girl, because I was surely like, who trying to pass? I was about to be angry, like, y'all, stay home.
Stay home. Don't pass me. Don't pass me. Anyway.
So we wrote books, the Anti-Thought series and the Misfit Guide series.
Which the Anti-Thought.
Oh, and I thought he was the one, haven't we all been there? And then the Misfit Guide series. And
which was just here. I don't know where it went.
Wait, we can show the 25 Hottest from like 2 years ago. The 25 Hottest indie authors, artists, and advocates. Hey, they actually have the S's on them. That's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
So, but we have 2020 out. Joan Baker is our lovely cover. She's so gorgeous and such a nice person just in general. It was an honor for her to be on our cover.
Mm-hmm. So it truly was.
That was amazing.
Okay.
So you can find everything about that on www.andwethought.com or barnesandnobles.com or amazon.com
I have something
or audible.com for our books. We just go down the list, like all the .coms where you find your stuff. Yeah, that one.
Yep.
We have a wonderful guest, and we're going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jason A. Meuschke. I'm a thriller author and host of the Sample Chapter podcast, which I've been thrilled to have had these wonderful ladies, Jade and Winona, on twice now. And it's been a lot of fun talking with them, and I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. Seriously, we are. It's so exciting. We finally got to get this thing together.
Yeah, because the last time we did it, the computer crashed.
Yeah.
It never cut back on again. We did 3 interviews that we feel like, yeah, we're good and we're running and we're ahead of schedule. And then it just was like.
That's why we should have known something was about to happen when we were ahead of schedule. Like, we're ahead. We're not running behind.
Yeah, it's happened to me too. I've lost one interview for sure, and then another one that I thought was gone, and I found it later on. So it's a scary thing to happen.
Yeah. And so now you have to contact them people and do them all over again, and you look all embarrassed. I got egg all over my face.
True.
That would look weird if you actually had egg on your. I never thought about that. Anyway, let's ask you So random. Interviews, asking questions, random stuff.
Random. I know. Pulling it out the hat today. So why did you start Sample
Chapter podcast?
Yeah, that was actually supposed to be a better question. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I had been thinking about doing a show for some time, and at the same time I was writing my first book, and one day the idea kind of came together. I thought, well, wait a minute, how, as an independent author, how am I going to get word out about my book, and how could I do a show that people are going to find interesting? Because if I just come on and I'm just this guy from Missouri talking about whatever I feel like, who's going to listen to that? And I had the idea of like, well, wait a minute, well, what if I interview authors and they come on and they read a sample chapter from their book, and I'll just have all kinds of authors on, and maybe I could even talk about my own book on there once in a while, or something like that. Maybe that'd be a way to help not only myself but other authors. And it caught on and got bigger than I anticipated, and now all of a sudden I'm on 2 different networks, and it's just I love it so much. I have such a fun time with it.
Wait, do you have, I think you have a sponsor. Do you have a sponsor?
I have a couple
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has sponsors. This is good stuff.
I know. So his sponsors, if you ever want to sponsor two cute little black girls.
African American.
Oh, African Americans. Oh, yeah, I need to be politically correct. Okay, yeah, you can sponsor our show. Okay, anyway, never mind.
The book that you were talking about, what is it?
Well, my first book was called 9 Mile Bridge, which I have here. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And this is the story about a haunted bridge. It's an urban legend where I grew up. And I had always been telling stories. I would take the underclassmen out there. My friends and I would, and we'd scare the underclassmen. And like 25, 30 years later, I found out the bridge was still, well, the bridge was there in some aspect. They tore it down and rebuilt a new bridge, rebuilt the old church that was there. And the story started going around again. And that inspired it in my head to go like, oh, that's what my first book will be. I'll write about that because I still remember the legends. And so that's what this is about. It takes place with in current times with a young girl who is in an accident that kills her new boyfriend. And all of a sudden after that accident, she's haunted by dreams, and they seem to correlate with this local bridge. And yeah, turns out there's a conspiracy between some locals and the history of the bridge and her family.
Ooh. I like this very much. And is it an audiobook?
It's not an audiobook right now. No, I'd considered doing it myself, but I don't think I could pull off an 18-year-old girl very well. So.
Okay, come on, you got to give it a try. Hello, you're something like that.
Hello, my name is Holly.
There you go. I think it's good. I like Holly already. So, what is the other book? Did you say you wrote another one?
Yes, I've got the poster for it back there. It's called A Novel Idea. And this is the story of a struggling author who had a New York Times bestseller a couple years ago, but there's also a dark cloud over it because some people believe he stole it from a dead author friend. And now there's another author, local author, who's disappeared, and people believe that he has something to do with it. So amidst the rising suspicions that he's behind this, he still has a deadline for his second book and trying to clear his name or find out, did he kill for a new story?
Oh, yeah. So I know I've heard about this one twice, and I love this idea. And I understand that your writing group likes it as well.
I'm sorry?
Your writing group? Do they like the idea also?
Yes. They kind of inspired it. I was trying to come up with an idea for something that originally, again, I thought, well, what could I write that I could involve the show with? And I couldn't come up with anything. And I thought, I don't know, that would just sound like I'm robbing somebody. But then I went to writing club that night, ironically, and as we're reading, what we do is we'll have a little sample of our work that we critique. And I just happened to look up at the moment somebody read something, and one of the other people there just made a face, and I was like, and of course the writer's mind starts going. I'm like, well, why would they make that face? That wasn't so bad. And all of a sudden, it starts going like, oh yeah, well, what if somebody stole this idea, and how would you pull that off? And oh, that person, maybe they died, or it just kind of grew, and I put it off. I was writing something else at the time, so I put it off for about 2 weeks. But during that time, the idea just kept going and going and developing. And all of a sudden, right before NaNoWriMo, it just exploded. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I got to write this. And I started it in November of 18, and got sick at the end of the month, so I didn't complete it in November, but I did pick it back up in January and then finished it by February. It was the quickest I'd ever written anything. I was really surprised how fast it came out of me, but it was a blast. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I've just been editing it ever since.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to when this comes out. So how important is the writing group to your creative abilities?
I'm finding it to be very important because there's what I see from what I've written, um, but when I print it and I take it to the group and I'm reading it, sometimes I'm seeing something new for the first time, or somebody else will point something out, going like, "You realize this character's kind of blah." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. Like that's true." I had another series I'm working on right now. I'm bringing in portions of it, and somebody called something out on it here a while back, right before this whole thing exploded, and now we don't go to club anymore for a while. But somebody pointed out something with my character again that, yeah, they really need to do this or make this a certain aspect a little more important to get the point across. I was like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So I find the group very important, and it's helped me. I already had a thick skin. I wasn't too worried about if somebody says something blah, but we're pretty nice there. There are some who will say something a little bit rougher than others, but it doesn't bother me a bit. And I have a lot of value out of the group.
Okay, Jay, do you have a question?
Yes,
That's not the last one.
Yeah, it's not the last one. This is the question. What are 3 things you would tell new authors getting into the indie world? What would you tell them?
Okay, so 3 things I would tell a new author. First is to congratulations, do it, go for it. I found out I was becoming a grandpa when I started writing in earnest, and so now I've got almost 2 books in the last couple of years, and soon more. So first thing is to just start and find a habit to write every day. Um, that will become something very natural for you to write every day. If you do that, it becomes something that you just can't give up, and that writing time becomes uh, so valuable to you where you can't miss it. Even if it's just as little as 500 words or even 100 words in a day, just a little bit of something each day is more than what you had the day before. So if you can do that every day, that's one thing. Secondly, it would be to get with groups of like-minded people. Whether if you can't do it, obviously right now we're having a hard time getting together in groups. So go online and find writers groups. There's tons of them on Facebook that you can get in there. Lots of great support, and most of them that I find they're so willing to help you out and give you advice. So that would be a really good idea to get around like-minded people. And thirdly, um, I would say try to make it like a business. I would wake up in the mornings, get my son ready for school. I would watch my TV shows that were on DVR, sitting around waiting until it was time to go to work. When I got serious about writing, that time became my writing time. So now I get up, I do some writing for half an hour, then I wake up my son, get him out the door, and then by the time he leaves, I've still got another 15, 20 minutes to write before I've got to get dressed and go to work myself. And that time has just become so valuable, and I don't miss the TV shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can catch up with them when you're done the book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll give myself some downtime after I've written something. My wife and I will go celebrating with dinner, go somewhere, and then that weekend I'll have some fun, maybe catch up on some shows, and we'll binge something for the weekend or whatever. But it's funny. Is the further you get away from it, the more it's like yeah, I've got a couple seasons of this or that waiting, and whatever. I'll move on. I'm kind of done with it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So, what do you look for in a guest for your podcast?
Oh, somebody who's willing to come on and read. I'm pretty open, which was a very hard thing to do the first, almost the first year. I would be reaching out. Sometimes it was last minute, like Sunday, I would finally get somebody to say, yes. I'm like, can you do it tonight? Because the episode's Tuesday. So then I'd get that and then edit that night and Monday and then have it ready for Tuesday morning. But just getting an author, because we're very introverted kind of people. We want to stay home anyway. And no author really wants to read. There are some who really enjoy it, some that don't. So that's why my show is audio only, and it's recorded. So that way I can go in and edit and put it together. We just have a fun time, as you all know. I try to make it fun. I try to make it light, and then I go back and edit so that way they sound really good. And oftentimes I cut my own stuff out. Oddly enough, the show, because I edit, it's helped me develop better editing skills with my writing as well. Because I go through, I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, that's not necessary. Well, I'm just rambling on at this point.
Exactly. Yes. Oh gosh, I ramble so much sometimes.
I think we all have that, like just a little bit. We'll just, oh yeah, wait, that wasn't even necessary. Why did that go on?
I think that's one of the great things about being a poet and a novelist, is because when you're a poet, you can only ramble but so long, and that's normally 3 pages, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. It's true. That's very true. Where can people check out your books and what you're doing?
And your podcast.
So I have a website. It's www.jasonameuschke.com, and that's MEUSCHKE. I'm not sure I thought that through. Maybe I should have done a different name for the website, but there's links to it here and there. I'm on social media as well. The author pages on there that you can follow. And then, of course, the books are on Amazon. If you're a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, you can borrow it for free, so that way you can just read it at your leisure, and it's available there. Right now, I plan to have all of my books that way, because I'm a very big Kindle Unlimited subscriber, and right now they're giving away 2 free months of Kindle Unlimited, so it's a great time for people to go check out books that are on there. The website is www.samplechapterpodcast.com, but if you don't want to go there, you can find it on any podcast platform. It just got picked up on iHeartRadio, which was really exciting. Thank you. I also have the show on YouTube.
I was hoping you were going to throw it in there. I'm like, you should throw it in there. I'm so happy.
I've gotten better about throwing in bits here and there, and I'll cut out the rambling and throw in the essential stuff. Leave that in there. The YouTube channel has been a lot of fun, because I do every episode. I use the book cover as the artwork for that episode. So on YouTube, you can see what the book looks like as the episode is playing, and that's I've had a lot of good response for it, and it's growing. I'm starting to get new listeners and subscribers each week, so that's a lot of fun too. That's every Tuesday, and I try to do a bonus episode at least once a month that I'll throw in on Thursday or Friday.
Oh, nice. You know what? We're willing to be that bonus episode every month. No, no. Not every month. Oh, good gracious, no.
We haven't written enough for that.
No. You could be going in the back catalog at that point.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. This was great. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So far, it looks like everything's going all right. I know I probably just jinxed the whole thing.
Thank you. Thank you for that. As two people probably start smoking. All right. Anyway, you can check out everything that your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. And just remember
that wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love from Jade and Winona. Bye-bye.
And wait.